What's up, everybody? I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz and so excited to be taking on the What We Watch 10-15 challenge.
Welcome to the 10-15 challenge. It's your girl, Miss Peacherino, host and founder of What We Watch. Let's get into it.
Do you want to play a game?
What were your favorite movies growing up?
What, like of all time?
Do you watch that show?
Yeah, I do.
Four of my favorite movies.
Is this what you're asking me?
We're here to talk about film and television, because what the fuck else would I be talking about?
It's soothing.
Welcome to the 10-15 challenge. I am your host, Miss Peacherino of What We Watch, and we are here on the Underdog Network, okay? I have today a wonderful guest, mi hermana, MJ Acosta-Ruiz.
Hi, boo.
How are you? How are you doing?
Gunny, of course.
Hi, my Gunny. Actually, two guests today. So, we're going to have a little fun today. It's going to be a little fun. We're going to, play some games. The word challenge matters, but we'll get there. MJ, tell us a little bit about yourself. Recent work, what do people need to know about you?
I think old me would have led with my job, but I think present me would lean in with the fact that I'm a proud Afro Latina. I'm a kind being. I work in broadcast, mostly in sports, but I've really been leaning into my entrepreneurship. So while, yes, you can catch me on ESPN and NFL Network, I also have my own production company and launched my first project, which was Becoming Undefined, a talk show podcast that you can find over on YouTube, all about intersectionality, what makes us us, and being more than one thing. And of course, I am Gunny's mom.
Most important. Okay. Honestly, we can run that right back because I don't think y'all heard it the first time. So production gonna run that right back when this episode comes out. Becoming Undefined, your most recent project that I have absolutely adored as your fellow hermana and Afro Latina Panameña, Dominicana. We are here and I love it. Gunny, my nephew, he's always here. So it's just so lovely to have you. But why are you here for What We Watch? Like, tell us a little bit about the background, because we low-key met at a Lakers suite, but we've talked TV before. What's your passion with TV, not just being on TV?
I think that because I was a latchkey kid, right? So I'm the eldest daughter, basically helped raise my brothers and sisters. My parents both worked multiple jobs, so I was home a lot. And TV was not just a form of like, okay, have these little kids sit down. But for me, it was a form of escapism, right? It was the way that I could see a world that I didn't even think was available to me. So outside of my tias and my mom and my grandma watching novelas all the time, which we love, because I love a flair for the dramatics. Yes. I think television really opened up the world of entertainment, the world of imagination, and the world of really outside of just the box that I was living in, right? Like all I needed was work hard, go to school, do all of this. And I'm like, how do those people do that? Right?
Exactly.
Like, so I was enamored, not just with the product that I was watching, the final result, but I was always so curious about how does this come together? How do you get there? How does all of this happen? How do I see it in my living room? Right? And I think that curiosity not only fueled my love for the performing arts, but eventually led me to my passion for broadcasting and TV production as well.
Exactly. And representation matters, okay? You saw yourself, it's tough. Sometimes we don't have enough of it. But you are now the representation for our babies, our children, our women that see themselves on TV and need to see that. There's a lot of synergy here on this podcast, y'all, because, we both are Afro-Latina. We both have little scruffy, fuffy babies. And there's just a lot of synergy. We love television. MJ is a huge supporter of What We Watch. My girl will comment on a thing like, girl, yes, I watched this TV show. And he absolutely did. And girl, did you watch this episode? Because the cinematography, the actors, I love her down. Like, exactly. So I know Gunny know a little bit too.
Well, he was watching with me, right? If I'm in a binge, he's right there. He is
I
right.
love that you brought up telenovelas as well
Mm-hmm.
because I grew up with my mom glued to the couch
Yeah.
watching the telenovelas, and I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
I didn't even exist at that time. That's for another therapy session.
That's another thing, right?
That's all.
That's another episode, right?
But I'm so glad you're here and y'all tap in because MJ is really that girl. She really is. But you were gracious enough, sis, hermana, to give us your favorite TV shows and films. That's a tough question. Every time someone asks me, I'm like, what?
It's probably changed since the answer that I gave you. Like,
see, that's part of the challenge.
Truthfully.
That's part of it. So I think now it is time to start the 10-15 challenge.
Oh my God.
And you are going to have to pick your path of the TV shows or films you either remember or don't. So it is time. I'd love to take a journey on both, but you must choose one. Pick your path. TV, 10 minutes of TV, or 15 minutes of film?
Let's do TV.
Okay, let's do 10 minutes of TV. Okay.
Shit.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate the guidelines. By design, there's not that many. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Maybe there's points associated. Maybe there's not. Maybe the questions get harder as they go. Maybe they don't. I really don't know. We'll have to see.
Copy that.
You know, maybe you'll be in a tournament if you have enough points. Maybe you won't.
Oh my God. Okay, the stakes are high.
Yes. So
or not.
And you can phone a friend, phone a dog, phone a son. Let's see what you got. So let's get into it. Okay. All right. Your 3 TV shows that you told me at the time. A lot of them talk about wealth and class commentary, dark humor, and family dynamics. So just want to remind you, does any of that reflect kind of like who you are and like your experience with TV or like as a human being, as a broadcaster, as a former cheerleader, all of that? Like, how does that reflect you at all? Because you love an ensemble cast, given the 3 that you gave me.
I love an ensemble cast. I live for one because it's so fun for me to catch the nuances in a scene, and certainly like the arcs of the different characters and the arcs as we go through not just a season but multiple seasons to reflect back to how one character was at the beginning versus how they are now. But for me, I think the reason it resonates, especially when you're talking about like the upper echelon and wealth and this world that truly I don't know. Right? I didn't grow up with wealth. I didn't grow up with privilege, right? Like we grew up on food stamps and WIC checks, like in Washington Heights, like really just trying to make it, trying to form our own American dream. So I think I'm always so fascinated by peeking behind the veil of like that 1% here of in the US, what we consider like the highest form of wealth, which is really interesting to me. And I'm like, this is how the other half lives. And it's not as glamorous as we think it is, you know?
One of my favorite speeches of yours, you talk about being the eldest daughter to immigrants. And, I heavily relate to that as well. So I like your list. I'm into this. A lot of family dynamics too. So let's hop into some questions.
Okay.
What streaming service did Desperate Housewives air on?
Air on?
Yeah. Or what streaming service? And then what did it air on? Two-part question.
It's Desperate Housewives aired on what did it air on originally? It must have been on ABC because I binged it on Hulu, and you know that they're together.
Okay. Exactly that. Okay. All right. We're gonna keep it on this one. What is the longest running show of your list?
It has to be Grey's Anatomy. Is it not?
No, ma'am.
Longer than 84 years, that Grey's Anatomy?
Desperate Housewives.
It was the longest? Oh, of the list that I gave you. Damn it. I thought present day. Yeah, no, it was a beefy
so bonus.
Yeah.
There it is. You already admitted it, girl. My list might have changed since I said it to you. You added Grey's Anatomy to your list. Wasn't there. How many episodes? And give me a range. This is just a little bonus question. How many episodes do you think Desperate Housewives had? Because it's a
thick.
long-running show.
It's thick. I've got to say close to 200.
Okay, perfect. Ding, I'm going to give you that point for that.
Yeah.
180 episodes.
Woo!
We're rolling. Name a country that the White Lotus was shot in or aired in and presented in.
Italy.
Italy, that's correct. Okay, great. Good job. What was the name of the motel owned by the family and in what show? The motel.
Okay, it was just motel at first. It ended up being Rosebud Motel on
Exactly
Schitt's Creek.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Okay.
Why isn't it just Rose Motel? The Rosebud makes it a sad, stunted thing.
What fictional lane did the Desperate Housewives live on?
Wisteria Lane, which is now the name of the spin-off that they're working on, which I will be watching.
I'm not even gonna ask the questions about the spin-off. Those are done. Okay. I knew you would. I knew. Okay. What is the common theme mystery in The White Lotus? What are they always trying to solve for?
Who died? Who killed them?
Who killed who? Exactly.
Who killed who?
That's another check right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I might get a little bit more difficult because we building it.
Hit me with
we
it.
building the confidence. Are
Don't
you
get
feeling
nervous.
good?
He's getting
Gunny
nervous.
got your back. Name another TV show Eva Longoria is in. Our Latina queen.
Another TV show.
Another TV show.
Our girl has done a lot of movies. She is in Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, perfect. a quick little show experience too, a little pop in. Okay, let's get a little harder. Okay, which show's showrunners were also in the cast?
Ooh, I love this question. That's a good one. From the list I gave you.
Yeah.
Oh, David and Eugene Levy.
Okay. Good job. Schitt's Creek. That's correct. Okay.
Yep.
Which show won the most Emmys?
Damn. It must have been Desperate Housewives because it was the longest running. So I'm just going by common denominator of time. One would think if you were on longer, you get more chances to win more Emmys.
No, they did not. That is incorrect.
That hating on the women, that's why.
That's very true. The White Lotus is actually the Desperate Housewives had the least, actually, which is, I know, it's crazy.
Robbed.
Okay, but let's talk about Desperate Housewives. Name a Black actress on the Desperate Housewives.
Vanessa Williams.
Okay, period. And
she pops up because I think she was like the only one.
And what was her name on the show?
Oh shit, that I don't remember. And she was in the latter seasons too. Damn, wait.
You got time.
No, I can't remember.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
What was it?
So, Renee Perry.
Renee!
When Renee pulls up to this house, she's going to see the one thing I can show off my beautiful, beautiful family. What is that, a pimple? Get in the back.
My girl Renee.
Gunny might have had you on that one. He looked at you like,
he did. He's like, Mom, we know this.
Please. Eugene Levy. So we talked about him earlier. What country is he from?
Canada.
Correct. Ding.
Canada.
Okay, hold on now, y'all. MJ kind of cooking. Hold on. I already knew.
I'm such a nerd, especially when I love a show. I'm like deep in it. I'm gonna watch all the extras. I'm gonna listen to I love a companion podcast, which now is a thing.
Okay, so you really be into it.
I live for it.
We're gonna have you on What We Watch way more.
Like vlogs, I'm in it.
Ball.
I'm in it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw an actress at you, Catherine O'Hara. You familiar? Okay. She won an Emmy for her role in which show?
Must have been Schitt's Creek.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the name of her character?
Moira Rose.
Exactly.
The one and only.
Ding, ding. Okay.
My spirit animal.
A pillow's feather or foam?
Yes.
Sorry, which one?
I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I was just asking.
And I'm very much looking forward to the moment when that stops.
I love her so much.
All right. You killing it. You killing it. In what city was Desperate Housewives filmed?
It's Wisteria Lane. It was a fictional city.
What was the actual production filmed? Where was it filmed?
Oh, where was it actually filmed? Wasn't it on a lot?
Was
it on a lot? Was it in LA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Okay. She not worried about nothing, y'all. Okay. But here for the buzzer beater. because
Okay.
we only had 10 minutes, so we are here.
Okay. Already?
One last question. This is worth double, maybe.
Maybe.
Which show had the lowest budget per episode?
Was it Schitt's Creek?
It sure was.
Wow.
What was the amount? Under what number?
That $1 million? Now I'm guessing.
Correct.
There was.
Desperate Housewives came in at 2 to 3 million, and I forget what the other one came out at. But
That's not including talent fees, I assume.
Correct.
Strictly production.
Strictly production.
Wow.
Lowest budget. Okay. All right. I don't know how many points you got. I think you got all of the points. I think you maybe missed 2 or 3. Yeah. And I came at you pretty quickly. Okay. You had 10 minutes. So I like that. Gunny is a good luck charm. Y'all right. Okay, he's ready because he's like, Mom, we cleaned that up.
Right.
Okay. So you kind of talked to this a little bit already with your family, kind of being able to escape. But tell us again, like, when did film and TV become such a huge thing for you? Was it before you became, got into broadcasting and sports journalism and things like that? And, was it most of your family? Can you remember the person in your family that kind of introduced you, or your first introduction to film and TV?
I think it was my mom, for sure. Because I think like the telenovelas were also escapism for her, right? Like it was, like you said, like your mom, it was appointment watching. Like, can I have an hour? Please. And I think that I latched onto that. It was also a time when like she and I could bond because the house was so full and so busy, right? So like if everybody else had to shut the fuck up for the novela, like we could at least have that moment. And like we could talk about it the next day or like look forward to it. So it was that appointment watching. I think there's a ritualistic aspect, especially for women, to be able to like gather and watch something and like really resonate with things that we see on the screen. So I think that was definitely my start on where film and TV really pulled me in.
So you understand the pitch for what we watch. That's it. I'll just cut that.
Exactly that. It's community.
It's community. It's a communal. I love that you added that it's ritualistic too, because we may have streaming services now where we're able to binge. That was not an option all the time back then. No. It was like, we knew what time we were going to be sitting in front of the television. Yeah. And for me, I spent a lot of time every Friday. It's also a ritual. Every Friday, my family and I, we got together and watched movies. So it was like, what's the new Denzel movie out? What's the new Will Smith movie out? That's what we are doing. So thank you, MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Where can we find you next? What projects do you have coming up that you can tell the What We Watch audience? Where can they find you? Tell us a little bit more.
You can find me on all social platforms under MJ Acosta TV. Look out for season 2 of Becoming Undefined. Maybe a certain host of What We Watch might be on there in season 2. Just saying. This is my official request for Miss Peacherino, to be on Becoming Undefined next season. And just continuing to build. Looking forward to potentially some international games when the NFL season kicks off, because we love a global moment.
Exactly.
Moment.
Okay, because you look so good in London, hun.
No, thank you. Well, all I know is that my Dolphins are playing in Spain.
Exactly that.
A few days before my birthday.
España.
Clock into
España, okay?
Madrid, baby, with the in it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining the 10-15 challenge. You really rocked it. You are on that leaderboard, baby. It's gonna be, keep going, because it's gonna matter a little bit. But we'll talk to you about your points later and everything. But thank you so much, MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Again, make sure you are supporting all the entrepreneurs. Make sure you are comfortable in being yourself. Before we go, who was someone on film in a movie or a TV show that really kind of made you feel seen? Because I feel like that's important. I feel like you've talked a lot about that, and I want the audience to know, like, who did you feel like kind of passed the torch to you and made you feel empowered the most?
Yeah, I go back immediately. The first person that pops in my mind is Zoe Saldana in Center Stage. Not only because she was a ballerina, right? And I grew up as a dancer, but I knew that she was Dominican, and I knew that she was playing this intersectional character, even though it's not reflected in the movie itself. We knew those who get it.
And she knew.
And she knew. And I think the way that she portrayed her character, the sheer grit, I think the storyline of her character of being the only Black ballerina in there, like all of it to me was like, oh my God, finally, like there's something, and she was so fierce in that film. And to this day, it's within the dance community, like the primary dance movie of us elder millennials, right? Like, so that was really, really special to watch her.
Anybody that brings up center stage knows their stuff, okay? And notice how, again, the dance community, film and TV is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for joining the 10-15 challenge of what we watch. Those of you watching and tapping in, please continue to support MJ Acosta-Ruiz and stay tapped in for the next episode. Thank you. Bye.